Everybody online is selling success. The courses, the masterminds, the dream lifestyles, and all these things. But let's be honest, most of them are full of shit. And I want to go through this video today in a very raw format, to be honest, because I want to break down how to spot the fakes and the guys that are worth following. And it's all down to my years of being in the space of the fitness industry for 15 years, owned a gym for 10 years, and I was on the online space for 5 years. And I've found that so many mentors are just full of shit. So I'm going to help you today to figure out who it is. And also, just for a little disclaimer, that's not saying that I am the mentor for you. This is how you figure out exactly who you should be looking at and why, and to spot the fakes. So let's get into it. I've worked with tons of mentors over the years. And when I first left the army, I went through a very low period of my life where I genuinely did not know what to do. And I found myself at a real dark place at one point where I genuinely planned to kill myself. And I say this because I've been to the lowest point of my life where I really thought that I had nothing to live for. But then I've spent over 100 grand now on mentors over the 15 years that have shaped me in lots of different ways. But one of the things I noticed is that even the worst mentors, and when I say worst mentors, probably a little bit harsh to say the worst mentors, but even the guys that I really didn't get on with and didn't see development from taught me something. And that is the key to success for anybody. Because there is not a simple one way to do things. And if you're following the footsteps of a mentor, a coach, or, even if you're modeling somebody without them knowing, because there's a lot of people that are sharing stuff online. And if you're modeling someone and you're feeling like it's not going the right direction, it's your duty, it's your way of bringing out the best things is the focus that you need to be having. And that is the key to it, because when you're copying somebody and figuring exactly out the things that you need to do, often you will model yourself to them and you'll lose yourself. So it's really important that you understand like the bits you need to adapt to and the bits you don't need to adapt to. But that has been one of my biggest lessons, where I've learned that there's a lot of mentors that have a lot of really good qualities, but also some bits that just are not for me or things I don't agree with. And when I talk about this, I've hired teams, I've had agencies in, I built my online coaching company up to 10K per month without any ads. And it's all about the timing. One of the things that I will say to everyone all the time is, back when I was building my gym, times were different. Ads were easier to run and there wasn't as many coaches, there wasn't as many gyms. So it's understanding that nowadays it's different to what it was when I built my gym. Then we've got the online coaching side. So again, I built to 10K because I got obsessed on wanting to hit that number per month. And again, it's different to the way it is now. So we have to adapt and shift to what is needed right now. But when I'm talking about all this, I'm not talking from the eyes of somebody else. I've done all of this myself, and these are the lessons that I've learned. I never forget investing into a mentor that I then later on found out that he hadn't ever had a business what he was teaching. He'd only made his money from mentoring people in that space. Now, yes, there's one way of looking at it, that fair play, clever guy, twisted people's arm, whatever. But the flip side is, when it comes to the struggle and the grind and, the natural sort of struggles that you have in business within certain sectors of the industry or wherever you are, you're going to have points that you need somebody's experience that has actually lived it and done that thing. And that is the bit that, let's be honest, most people look up to. You wouldn't get a coach that is, let's say, not in the shape that you want to be in. Even if they have got thousands of transformations that they've done, you just wouldn't go to let's say a fat PT and say, I want to look shredded. You just wouldn't trust them, right? And it's exactly the same in the mentoring space. But again, going through this with this mentor specifically taught me a lot. It taught me what to not do. It taught me what to avoid. It also then helped me when I decided to go into the mentoring space. 2023/24, I started to build the mentoring side because I wanted to change my lifestyle. I came away from competing strongman. I wanted to be in any location I could in regards to the world. So I didn't want to feel like I was attached to something. I didn't want to be so rigid with my training. And I just wanted to live my life a little bit different with my fiance and my kids. And I took that leap, if you like, into the mentoring space. But when I did that, I had a lot of things that I knew that I didn't want to do. And that is the key to what I'm trying to teach you here, right? You have to know exactly what you do and what you don't want to teach within the direction that you're going with the guys that you're attracting. And that is why I have so many different resources and files that I give out to people, because I want to help people get to the point that they want to be faster. And that is exactly what mentoring is about, right? Coaching. It's all about getting there faster. If you're somebody that right now is struggling with your content, then go to the description below. There is a link there where you can go straight to my school and do the mini course on the content strength system. That is just something that if you haven't already seen, go and grab it now, because it's free and it's just a way of you understanding that next step. Because the quicker you can get to these steps, the more success you're going to have in a quicker space of time. But let's get into some nitty gritty, right? But there's 3 warning signs that I'm going to break down for you today, which are the areas that I've pulled out to know that these are the things we need to think about when you're looking at investing into a mentor. So number 1 then, let's say with this, sign 1 is understanding that the people that you're looking at, if they have fake income claims or not. Because I have seen so many people that are bringing people into their business by showing these claims that they've had of how much they've turned over in each month. Now, it wasn't too long ago when I actually put on my social media where I was talking to a guy on social media, and he then asked me a question of how much money are you making now and how much do you want to make? I went into it and thought I'll have a chat with him. He was a mentor, and he ended up then telling me he'd hit 90 grand that month. I didn't even ask him how much he'd actually made that month. So it was just clearly one of those things that he wanted to tell me. But here's the thing, right? There's a lot of people that are pushing these big numbers. And are they actually taking that home? Like, honestly, I don't give a fuck if they are or not. And I'm sure you won't as well. But you need to understand that when you're looking at these people, if they are constantly banging on about how much they're earning and what they're doing and where they're going and what they've got, there's a big chance that it's not actually true. And we all know that. So it's one of those areas that I guess nobody knows, but if somebody has to tell you all the time, then it probably isn't true. But there's a difference between saying you're rich and, let's say, looking rich. But one of the things that I personally look into and focus on is investing into property. So for any of you guys that don't know, my fiance has a property business and she's crushing it in the property world as it is. But on the side with us together, we've now recently focused on putting our money aside into focusing on earning more to be able to then put the money into the property. And this is one area that I felt like I was stuck for a while, quite some time ago, where I just didn't feel like I had a drive to earn more money. I'd hit 10K months and I was thinking, well, why would I need more money? Like, I'm not a massive driver with money. I like the lifestyle, but I don't like to think that I need to earn more money. And again, this goes back to the whole fake income claims, right? If people are constantly saying how much money they're earning, is it really true? What is the actual driver? But my driver is to have the outcome and the lifestyle. So recently we've bought a house in Spain, and that is my driver. It's not ready until 2027 in March, but that is my driver. It's putting money aside now to make sure that we're paying off the deposit that needs to be down for that and ready to then obviously have this house in Spain. We're not moving there full time, but it's having a holiday home, then we can rent it out on the rest of the time. This was a big driver for me because it was something that made me want to work harder, focus and double down, and actually build wealth into the future. And that's why I teach this sort of stuff, because if you're going day to day in your business and you're not actually putting money aside, or you're not investing into things, or you're not directing money into something that's going to make you wealthier in the future, and then what are you really working for? Because if you're working for the instant cash that you're getting right now, it only goes so far before that becomes, let's say, boring or a lifestyle that you realize you're going into a path you don't want to go into. And that then leads us into number 2. So number 2 is the I'm just like you story. So a lot of people will say, I'm just like you. That's meant to be a name. And the problem with this, right, is we get a lot of people that will say, I'm just like you. I know what it feels like. When actually the real big question and the thing you have to analyze for yourself is, are you really like me? Have you really done what I've done, got what I've got, started wherever I've started? And again, it isn't to claim something or have a competition with, right? But you need to look at these guys and think, is their lifestyle the same or similar to mine, so I can take the same steps as them? I was just talking to one of my good friends the other day about this, where I was talking about the levels that people start in. This is just my own analogy on this, but I always think, and it comes from a story where I grew up with a girl who basically had a lot of money. She grew up with she started her life with a lot of money. Her dad gave her everything. She got a new car. She got a brand new car as soon as she was able to drive it, and he handed a business to her. But when you look at this, when I was young, I used to look up to that thinking, wow, she's got it all. That's amazing. But now I'm an adult myself and I have children myself. I don't actually think that's a good thing. And this is because she will never know what it was like to be me, that couldn't afford a car and had to get an old banger of a car at the start. I grew up in a council estate, and there's a completely different point. And this is what I was talking to my friend about the other day, where we were mentioning the levels in life. So let's say we start on level 0, and most people do, right? But then this particular girl started on level 3. And because she started on level 3, she doesn't know what level 0, 1 or 2 looks like. And this is the problem. When people are teaching something that they are that you're looking up to, have they ever been in your position? Because most of the time, mentors will teach you something, but they haven't been in your position. And therefore, you will be set up to fail because you're unable to then, well, first of all, you're motivated by the things that they're teaching, but you're unable to actually analyze it and break it down and think, is this right for me or does this work for me? Because you're so driven by the outcome that they've had that you do the thing that they teach. And when you do the thing they teach, it doesn't always end up in the same outcome because you didn't start in the same place. Alex Hormozy is a well-known guru in the fitness industry, and he's absolutely fucking crushed it. But where he started is completely different to where most people started. He was doing Facebook ads before anyone really knew about them. And he had a head start. It's not down to him teaching the wrong thing, because actually he just got ahead of the game before anybody else. But you have to think, well, if I'm learning the stuff from him, am I able to, take that same trajectory that he's had? Because am I able to see the same things he sees? Like, things are completely different nowadays. And again, that's why when I teach people gyms or online coaching, whatever it is, like it's completely different to how I did it years ago. And that's why it's really important to reinvest into yourself. And that's what I do all the time with mentors, because learning the new things up to date for the age that we're in now is vital to make sure that you are able to implement it into your life and your business and continue to grow. And this is a huge reason why I changed my model a year and a half ago now, where I started to look at mentoring and coaching as a more of a relaxed model. Because again, I've been with so many mentors and coaches that it's been intense. It's been every single day. It's been working on things which for some people, that's what they need. But the majority of people don't need that intensity. They just need the support when they need it. And that's why I built a microeducation model, which is the best of both worlds. The guys that I work with don't need me every single day, but whenever they do need me, they book an unstuck call straight into my diary, and I don't know it's come through until it comes through. And then we jump on a call, we analyze things, we crush what they need to do, and then we keep moving forward. The information that they have is all on Skool, and they can literally work through it at their own pace. And then we have monthly meetups on Zoom, and we just analyze things and make sure growth is continuing. And to me, this is the best model. You don't need somebody holding your hand all the way through. And again, this is what I teach people so often, because there's a lot of, especially online coaches, where they give too much and they're actually guiding their clients into thinking they need them forever. And look, I've done this for a lot of time right now, and I don't think that it's the best way that you teach people if you are holding their hand too often, because number one, you're not teaching them to do their own shit. And number two, they need you all the time and you don't have any freedom. The whole idea of you starting a business was not to babysit someone. It was actually to then have freedom and make money, right? And coach people and work towards your mission of helping as many people as you can. So if you look at that model, it's not the best if you are having to handhold them all the way through their journey. And number three is quite simply that the coaches, it's all upside. So a lot of the time, when you see their stories, when you see their socials, when you look at them and see where they're going in their journey, it's always the good things that they're sharing. And to me, this might just be a personal thing, but I know it's served well whenever I've taught this to people. But if you only see the good side, like, where is the bad happening? Because there's lots of ways to look at this, right? First of all, if people aren't showing the bad side, they're trying to show perfection and they're trying to get people to strive for perfection. We all know perfection isn't a thing, right? You see a lot of mentors share their diaries and their calendars saying that I don't have anything and I have freedom and I only do an hour a day. Like, let's be honest, that is bullshit. I don't teach that. I wouldn't want that anyway because I would literally be bored. And they're teaching something that isn't quite true. They're not showing you the crazy shit that happens in between. And that is something that I personally like to do because look, I'm showing people that I'm real, but also I'm helping them understand that it's all a progressional step. Like we're all working towards something, regardless of the level you're at. And there is no such thing as perfection. So when you're looking at this, like it's important to see that people are sharing the downsides. They're sharing the things that are going wrong. They're sharing the struggles, the failures. For example, with myself right now, I bought a Porsche 3 months ago and I'm just about to sell it, which is fucking bonkers, yes. And I'm sharing this on my socials at the moment because it's real life and it's true. The reason I'm selling my Porsche is not because I can't afford it, but I've realized that actually I work from home and I drive to school 3 or 4 times a week to pick the kids up, and that is it. So what we're now doing, and it's it's probably an ADHD flippant moment, but I said to Sarah the other week, like, I think I'm going to sell it because knowing that we have a house in Spain that we're slowly chipping away at the deposit for the next year, like the money that's sitting there, we could be putting towards that and it takes the stress off us. And again, this is real life stuff. And I am a very real, raw person. And that's why I teach that same stuff with my guys, because when you talk about the real stuff in your content and you get connection with people, people trust you faster. And if they trust you, they're then going to buy off you at some point. And that is obviously a whole new video, but talking stories and storytelling within your content is one of the best things you can possibly do, because when you tell stories and people relate with them, they will start to trust you more, they will understand you, and as long as you're authentic and you're talking the real life stuff, then people will like you more. And it really is as simple as that. So when you're looking at mentors and coaches, like if it's all upside, you know it's bullshit. People have a lot of problems and things that they struggle with. But if they're not sharing it, then they're trying to make out to you that they're just perfect. So look, I hope that this has given you some insight on how I see things and what I've learned over the years. And quite simply, if you look at when you're looking at the full picture of a mentor, of a coach, try and think, are they somebody that you actually would like to trade lives with? Because if they're not, and you're looking at them thinking, this is what I need to do, just think for a moment, would you actually trade lives with them? Because if you wouldn't, then they're probably not the right person. And you're just being attracted to the way they market and the way they show their life ultimately. And it probably isn't the best thing for you. Another thing is, do they constantly win with their clients? Because if they're showing you the wins within their clients and you can see the, let's say, relatability with yourself and their clients, then again, maybe they are a good coach for you. But if they're sort of the wins that they're getting with their clients aren't consistent, or they're not actually the types of wins that you want, then maybe they're not the good thing for you. And this will then fall into the next one, which is being aligned together. So are you actually aligned with your values with this coach? Like there's a lot of coaches and mentors, unfortunately, that are really good at marketing, but they're not necessarily the people that you want to work with. So are they aligned with you? Would you hang around with them? Do you like them as a person, or do you just like the skills that they have as a marketer? Because again, there's a big difference between those two. And it's something that you need to be aware of to know who exactly you're looking at and who you want to work with in the future. And a great example of that is if a mentor is constantly talking about working less hours, but they're working 100 hours a week. How are they actually living versus what they say that they do? So here we have it, right? The decision filter. So we've got number one is results. So are they getting the results that you actually really want? Or are they just really good at marketing and you're getting hooked in by that? Number two, are they showing their wins with both their wins and their struggles, or are they just showing the wins? Number three, with the guys that you're looking at, are they actually successful beyond business, or are they looking at this as it's all about business and they're not really thinking about their life? So it's about their life story style. Then number four, we have, do they have with their clients, are they doing a full handout? Like, are they hand holding every single person as they go through? Because again, if they're hand holding people and they're guiding them through, then is that something that you want? Because do you want to be handheld, or do you want to actually be able to do stuff on your own and be taught the official way of growing yourself, as opposed to just always, thinking that you need somebody to support you? And think about this for yourself as well, because a lot of people, when I say that, realize that's what they do within their clients and then go, shit, that's actually not how I want to be. And then number 5 is values. So do their values match mine? Like, do you believe the same things? Now, obviously, there's a lot of growth elements to where your values will grow towards, and what you'll start to believe as things change in your lifestyle and you grow. But actually, deep down, do your values align? Because if they don't, and then is it somebody that you could see yourself working with full time? And you know what? It's crazy to say, but look at this like a relationship, because it is a relationship, right? You need to make sure that you are fully aligned, that you are believing the same thing, that you're buying into the same picture, but you're just adjusting the model, the structures, the systems, and everything that you go through. So look, with everything that I've gone through today, I hope that you've took some note, and I hope it's something that you've learned a couple of things, right? And this is not saying, pick me as your mentor. That's not what this video is about at all, because I also won't be the mentor for many people. But let's be honest, if you're this far into the video, you probably do like something I've said. But if you're thinking of like taking things a little bit further and you're thinking where to go, and then don't hesitate to click the link in the bio, because I can get you into Skool and do my mini course on the content strength system, and you can start to learn who I am, what I do, and how I can help you. And you can get in there. If you like it and you want to work further, let's do it. If you don't and you just wanted a freebie, that's completely fine. Whatever, we can move things forward. But take control. Think about who you're talking to, and actually, analyze coaches and mentors, because fuck me, there is a lot of people nowadays, and there's a lot of people that are teaching shit that they've never done, and it really is fucking wrong. So look, in a nutshell, the right mentor will compress time, but the wrong one will waste your time and energy, and it will drain you, and it will most likely make your passion fall out your arse. So I hope today was something good for you, and I'll see you on the other side.